So the FIBA World Cup officially concluded. Congratulations to Germany. And, not the way the bracket probably expected to go. We both had Canada and US being in that top three contention, but we assumed that they'd probably meet in the gold medal match. And they ended up meeting in the bronze medal. And the storyline developed. And Dylan Brooks, of all names, is the reason why Canada was able to seize the bronze and keep the US out of any medals. And it got me thinking because the FIBA World Cup is our replacement for the NBA at this stage. And, as we move forward into preseason shortly, I'm worried about Houston. And I think I can give you some insight into why you should be worried as well. So, Dylan Brooks got a pretty good contract. Everyone was making jokes saying he's going to China, and then he comes out with a solid 80 million contract. They bring in some vets like Jeff Green, they bring in Udoka, and they're there to kind of get those kids in line, right? So Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jabari Smith Jr. So we're going to get those young guys into line. I'm really worried because Houston for the last couple of years has been a chuckers buffet, essentially. You get to take 20 shots. And I think Dylan Brooks coming in there with an inflated sense of self. He's coming in there knowing that his role in the NBA has been a defensive pest and can generate a little bit of offense for you. And he's going to come in thinking, I'm on 20 million. I just won bronze over the US. I'm the man. And I think he's going to come in there. He's going to upset everything that they're going for. I don't know what culture they're trying to build, but I actually think his success has led me to be more worried about Houston moving forward. Are you convinced, or
I'm trying to wrap your head on what your hot take is here, actually. So you're worried about Houston because Dylan Brooks won bronze and he's going to come in with a big ego and he's going to take all the shots away from all the young guys. Is that what you're trying to say?
that's? I think that's the thumbnail / title right there. I think you've nailed
it. Based upon without if you don't overreact one game and that
I'm
he obviously
overreacting, but
had
yeah.
obviously had a hot shooting night in this Canada US matchup, all right, where he had a hot night. Canada did win in overtime, and you're now freaking out that maybe this whole Houston scenario is going to turn into, I don't know, someone choking their coach or something. I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. What's the worst thing that could happen here? I'd like to sort of hear your expanded thoughts on your concerns.
Well, I think if I were the front office of the Rockets, my general consensus would be I have 3 to 4 young talented players if you chuck in Alperen Sengun as well. And you want to set them up with some decent role players who've been around the league for a little bit and try to reset the culture. The thing that I worry about with Dylan Brooks coming in as a bit of a culture resetter is I think he's going to think he's the man. And you don't want a role player thinking they're the man. And that creates division.
Sorry, dude. Let me just throw you this one here. Okay, I get the gist you're trying to set here. So let's assume Dylan Brooks comes in first few games, 5 games into the season, he's averaging 25 shots a game, shooting 30%. Okay, and so he's shooting like, I don't know, 8 from 24, on average for the first 5 games. Okay, what is the simplest solution for the Houston Rockets coach to do in such a situation?
Oh, look, of course, bench him. I'm just saying they've given him a lot of money. They've given him a lot of money.
So
They're
what?
trying to set up
How
some
many
precedents
players?
there.
How many
No, I'm
players are
worried.
sitting
I'm
on the
worried.
bench getting paid tens of millions of dollars that cannot play, do not play, for one reason or another? I think we did say at the start, we're gonna, you had a sort of a, you like to tell me sometimes I get lukewarm takes, right? and I was like, as you sort of expanded on this one here, I was like, it feels like there's no merit here unless you want to tag this as Dylan Brooks sucks. that obviously,
No, because no, this is the
like
thing.
he just
I'd just say it's a role issue. I think in his head, he's got a very Lance Stevenson aura about him,
Whoa,
right?
whoa,
Where like
whoa. What, did he
his
not?
perception of self versus talent and or role is not
Can I spin this take
it's not
in a
correlated.
different way? Actually, maybe this Canada US game has actually shown something here that perhaps the Grizzlies gave up on him and gave him up for much less value than he's worth. Okay, because he's still a valuable player in the right system, and he's in the right system in Canada. Okay, in this Canadian team, he's in the right system. Will he be in the right system at Houston Rockets with the younger core, and they're probably not going to win as many games as the Grizzlies, and how we sort of react in that sort of way? That's to be seen. But he was at the Grizzlies. He was like the fourth best option on the floor, perhaps on any given moment in that sense. With Jar there, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bain, star rising. Okay, and he played his role fine. Okay. And the biggest thing that I think that the Grizzlies let him go was a lot of the antics off the floor. Okay. And the sort of the a lot of it came from his mouth, not his play necessarily. Okay, his play is the sort of you want a player to play that way. And I guess if he goes to Houston or wherever else he stops, if he just keeps his mouth shut and plays, he'll play for 10 years. Yeah, 15 years. He'll get a career. He'll continue to get paid if he plays that hard nosed sort of just defender, corner threes, 3-and-D guy. He's got that sort of role. I don't know. I guess I feel like, look, I know you're like, maybe he's coming in at a different sort of, mindset because of what's happened in this sort of FIBA World Cup. That's saying then, now you're going to say, you could spin it this way, like Franz thinks he's the number one option now at the Magic, and Pablo should take his back seat, right? Because Germany won gold.
It's not the same. It's not the same. Look, I think we'll revisit this in a couple of weeks into the season when Houston is having some real identity issues. I think I'm good with this. I think this is going to age well. I think this is going to age far better than you're banking on. So
Dennis Schroeder for MVP.
This is Two Guys with Spare Time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.